Hello, everybody. Apologies for the small delay. We had some struggles with the sound. I guess everything is good now. It is my pleasure to be here today with my colleague and to speak in front of you. There are some exciting stuff that we're going to share with you, and I hope that it will be really interesting and exciting to you. So, Pana, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Georgi. I'm Panayot Sankov. Together with Georgi, we have like 1 year of experience working on AR and VR in progress. And today we're going to share with you some of our experience. So we will start by explaining what augmented reality is, what virtual reality is, and then how these technologies can be applied in line of business applications. We'll continue with the progress vision, our mission, how we are going to help developers and help the ecosystem. Then talk a little bit about data visualizations and for 3D displays. We'll have some exciting live demos and time for questions and answers. Thank you.
So let's begin.
So what is augmented reality? Augmented reality is a medium that allows virtual digital images to be overlaid on the real world. You can present a screen, virtual screen that lets you look into completely new worlds, or you can present models of objects on your table, on the ground near you, or simply augment real world objects with contextual information.
So I'm a clicker now. So.
Yes, I will click for you later. So what you see here is Tom Cruise working in Minority Reports. He's using natural interactions, his hands, to navigate back and forth to huge data sets. He's trying to find valuable insight to take actions based on it.
Next slide, please.
And here is Iron Man. In tough situations, when split-second decisions have to be taken, Iron Man is presented with relevant contextual information, so he can devise the best possible plan to figure out the best course of actions. We are not very far from reaching this. Consumers are used to augmented reality, but we don't even think about that. On sports events, when you are watching your favorite game, TV augments the actual field with a lot of information about probabilities, scores, distances, player names.
Nice.
And weather forecasts takes this to the extreme. You have like just a human presented into a completely virtual world of, as you can see, swimming pools inside the studio. These take a lot of hardware to set up, but we see the market getting democratized day by day. All of you have mobile devices in your pockets. These devices are capable of delivering augmented reality experience. Big companies deliver tools to build and to deploy such experiences. And as if you were here on a previous session, we saw Microsoft's HoloLens and the awesome applications that you can make with it. But augmented reality has still some work until it gets to the consumer market, and I'm talking about headsets.
Yeah, so basically the mobile is the primary consumer channel, but again, it is not true immersive experiences. The head-mounted device are going to bring this.
Yeah, so we believe in the head-mounted displays, but they need a few more years to get to consumers. And now, what is a virtual reality? In a virtual reality experience, images completely surround the consumer by completely eliminating the real world.
So there is actually no sense of real world. The world that surrounds you is entirely virtual.
Yes, the world that surrounds you is entirely virtual. In its ultimate form, the virtual experience will ensnare the senses and will be able to present a experience that is so close to the real world that it can hardly be distinguished. Now, this presents us with a new medium to deliver rich interactions. Imagine that you're an architect or designer building your product. Even before you have built anything real, you can create an experience where consumers can walk the street of your buildings, see how your project will blend with the existing surroundings, get up in their apartment and see the scenery. So these experiences can communicate emotions and the hardware today. We have a lot of hardware vendors that are pushing their limits. You can see some of the HTC Vive or Oculus Rift here, but at the moment these are a little bit bulky. I mean, we have a gaming laptop, we have tracking cameras or base stations, we have huge headset.
We also have this.
And it's tethered with a cable. So this is good for gaming experience, but it's not ready for the consumer market yet.
So what is coming?
What is coming? A device is coming at the start of next year that will be affordable. It will have all the capabilities of this station here. It will have 6 degrees of freedom, so you can walk freely around the virtual experience. It will have good joysticks. And
we would like to play a 1-minute video so that you can feel the excitement with us about this device.
Oculus Quest is an all-in-one VR system. It's just you and your hands, completely free and immersed. With 6 degrees of freedom, state-of-the-art optics, and built-in audio. You can forget about wires, PCs, and phones. Oculus Quest is ready to play when you are. The headset relies on 4 ultra-wide-angle sensors to map your environment as you navigate through it. And with Oculus Insight tracking, every move you make in the real world translates right into the game you're playing. Combine that with Oculus Touch controllers, and the game is at your fingertips. So when you grab, swing, or cast a spell, you'll feel the power of every gesture. The next level of VR gaming is finally here. Introducing Oculus Quest.
So we are really excited about this device. It is our belief that it is going to democratize the consumer space. It is affordable, no need of no tethered device, no need of cables, and gaming laptops. So this is going to be my first home VR device once it is available.
Mine too.
Okay, so long Panata shared a quick overview of augmented and virtual reality technologies, what in an essence they are. I would like to talk a little more about how augmented and virtual reality can add value in existing businesses, in business verticals, and to share with you some use cases that exist today, and businesses are taking advantage of them. But before we start with use cases, let's talk a little bit about the top AR/VR strengths, or what we think is the 3 pillars of this technology. The first strength is the so-called immersive experiences. Why immersive? Because when we put the device on and see the worlds, be it augmented or entirely virtual worlds, every hologram, every 3D object is entirely natural to the brain. I mean, if we see 3D on a 2D display, then the brain needs to first map a 3D object to a 2D display, then read it back so that it can understand or grasp the understanding of 3D. In virtual reality, this is just natural to the brain. The second pillar is the so-called natural interactions with devices like HoloLens or Oculus Rift, Oculus Quest. The way you interact with the 3D objects, the virtual world, is in an entirely natural way. For example, as you saw on the video, if I want to grab a 3D object in a virtual world, I will do it in exactly the same way as if I pick something from the real world. And when we add the voice commands, when we add gaze, then interaction with virtual worlds is, again, natural to the brain. And the third strength is collaboration, or how people can together, collectively, interact and experience a virtual or augmented world. Imagine a team, remote team, that is located anywhere physically in the world. Basically, this team can put a virtual reality device, enter a virtual meeting room, see each other's avatars, collaborate on a very same hologram or visualization or whatnot. So this is the other top strengths that AR and VR enable. A quick list of business use cases that exist today. In the next slides, we will talk in more details about each use case. I just wanted to share with you that the list is really, really long, and there are numerous use cases. The first picture is, first screen, is about exploration. It is an entirely virtual experience. And this can virtually take you anywhere in the world, where you can, for example, if you take European museums, most, if not all of them, have these virtual reality tours. So I can just sit at home, put the VR device on, and visit, for example, British National Museum. And this is without the need me to travel, to arrange accommodation, and so on. Retails and stores. Using augmented reality, supermarkets, stores can provide personalized experience guidance to consumers. For example, if you frequently visit a supermarket and you have opted for the supermarket to anonymously collect data about you, your preferences, choices, stocks of interest. The next time when you visit the market, you can just pull out your phone and see some augmented reality that will guide you to places of interest in this supermarket for you. For example, discount there, or new stuff there, or everything that can help you. Okay, architecture and interior design. All of you probably have seen the IKEA application, which is the most common scenario about how augmented reality can add a lot of value to consumers. Prior to augmented reality, the process of choosing some furniture was to first see it on the website, see it on a 2D display, then think, that furniture seems nice, but how do you check whether it fits? So probably you can do some measurements, some writing, taking notes, how meters is long my living room, and so on. Then you need to go physically to the IKEA store and check the dimensions, see it in 3D, is it good or not? Augmented reality allows for all this. You can just place a realistic 3D model of any IKEA furniture in your room and see how it goes. Manufacturing. The use case here that companies like Bosch are already utilizing is to augment some hardware equipment with additional content, additional information that would allow technicians and service workers do their job more easily and with less mistakes and less confusion. So for example, if there is this machine, this complex machine, that I, as a service worker, see for the very first time, then I definitely need to go through some training to understand how the machine works and how can I fix it. By using augmented reality and head-mounted device, I can just see the instructions on top of the machine in digital content. Training. So imagine a room with people that are being taught by a teacher, by a lecturer, how to operate on in this case, some medical equipment, how to deal with it. Education, augmented and virtual reality with their immersive and natural to the brain experiences add enormous value to how people learn, how they understand the information that they see, and the level or the way they memorize data. So when data is seen through immersive experiences, it lasts much longer, and the understanding of the information is much better. Actually, recent studies show that this percent is nearly 80% better understanding of information. Remote collaboration, again, the top strength of AR and VR. Imagine the financial broker of the future. So you're a person that is who is interested in investing in stock options. You have a personal broker that monitors potential deals that might be of interest. Something happens, there are stocks that potentially you are interested into buying. Then the broker just calls you on your HoloLens device. You both connect. He shows you a 3D chart, diagram of value movement of the stock, and you can take the most informed decision whether to buy or not. What is our vision, we as a company, as Progress Software? What do we think about augmented and virtual reality, and what our commitment is? And here, I want to start this discussion with a favorite quote of mine. This is Michael Abrash, the chief scientist of Facebook. The way he put what is augmented and virtual reality and what the near future is about this technology is what we also believe in. So basically, he says that AR and VR are going to replace mobile and personal computers as the primary way people interact with information and each other. So again, VR collaboration, social experiences, you can be in the very same virtual room with anyone physically in the world. Some details about the potential in terms of projection, billions of dollars. What is the potential of this market? Analysts and people that do such forecasts agree that the potential of AR and VR is enormous. So within 2021, the projected market size is about $215 billion, which is a huge thing. This is not, of course, this is collectively about the hardware that is going to be produced for AR and VR, the software that is going to be written, and 3D content. 3D content is 3D models and 360 videos, rich content that is going to be created. Out of these $215 billion, what is going to be the size of the software primarily that is going to be written for AR and VR? It is projected or estimated to be about $35 billion. And what is important here is that half of it is for gaming and entertainment, but the other half is for business, for verticals that we already mentioned. That is engineering, healthcare, education, retail, and so on and so on. What is our commitment? As Panata said in the beginning, we've been doing research and development in this area for more than a year. And our commitment is that we will help developers. After all, we are Progress Telerik. It is our DNA to help developers be more productive and become superheroes. We will help developers build augmented and virtual reality applications better in less time with more quality, with higher quality.
Thank you, George. So, Progress has strong experience in delivering components for the other suites that we have developed, like WinForms, XAML, Candy UI. We have always had these strong data visualization frameworks. And now that we are presented with this new rich medium, we decided that this will be the first thing we will do. Because the biggest screen where you can put data is the real world or the actual virtual world around you. Yeah. Now, what's the data visualization? It includes components such as charts, graph visualizations, maps, gauges, tabular data. And as we think of it in immersive experience, we will be able to use these components to present them in a virtual room, to share them with our colleagues, to engage people, to watch the data, take decisions together, get valuable insights. This is an immersive experience where we'll use natural interactions to grab for points of interest. And the third dimension will allow us to present multidimensional data. Currently, 2D screens, mobile devices, and computers have very limited space, but the virtual world shows another dimension in which we can really add layers and layers of new information.
Absolutely. And about data, we're talking about data visualization.
Yes.
So just to add to what Panata said, this third dimension and the fact that every business segment, every business vertical has data. It is not a property of a single vertical. Then it only makes sense that these businesses will have the need to visualize data, and we will be there to help them visualize it in the new primary way of information interaction.
Yeah. As a company, we have always been working on horizontal solutions, and now data is across all segments, across all industries, so we want to build something that everybody will be able to use. We'll show you with demos.
Whew. Demo time. Could we please move to the next slide? So, it's okay. So, while Panata is moving to the slide of interest, I wanted to talk more about data visualization and 3D data visualization. So on this picture, you can see the standard way of plotting three-dimensional data on a 2D display. So the 3 dimensions here are multiple products, buy time, and sales volume. So what is the y-axis plots the volume, the x-axis plots the time, but which axis would plot the multiple products? No third axis. So this chart just adds multiple series. Every product represents a single line series, which is fine, but if you have, say, 20 or more products, then you get basically a very dense pixel-wise visualization with information that is hard to read, to understand, to see single values or individual colors. So what I'm going to show you in this demo is our reimagined understanding or a vision how we can take advantage of the third dimension and visualize multi-dimensional data in a way that would be much more easier for the brain to understand. Okay, let's start the demo. Are we live on screen?
Yes.
Excellent. So if I move my head too quickly, please let me know. So what you see here, first, let me start with the data and the scheme of the data. Imagine you're a business and you need to monitor your performance, how your business performs. You have multiple products and you want to monitor the performance and how each product sales go over time. Again, multi-dimensional data, 3 dimensions. The sales data itself has many more dimensions. These are regions, these are stuff like clients or subcategories or sales types in terms of whether it is a new sale or a renewal and whatnot. So let me start with the large 3D chart in the bottom left side of this huge dashboard. What you see here is a 3-dimensional chart. This is a bar chart actually, where each bar represents the sales volume of a single product for a single month. So the x-axis plots the multiple products, the z-axis or the depth axis plots the time, the months, and the y-axis plots the sales volume. What is interesting in this chart is that it has multiple scale breaks. So if you see on the y-axis, you see 4 different breaks and 4 different scales. This is because the difference between the lowest performing products and the highest performing products in terms of sales volume is exponential. And if we plot all the products on a single scale, then all of the bars would have insignificant height, making the whole visualization hard to understand. So one insight that I immediately can see is that on the left, the bars in green represent my top-selling product, which is exponentially higher in terms of sales from the rest of the products. For example, if I see the sales for November 2017, I can see that the total bookings is about $200,000, and the trends are kind of, so November is high, then December is lower, and so on. And what I can immediately see, on the other hand, is that on the right, I have the lowest performing products, and I have a single sale for that product that is for September 2017, and it is for $39. So I basically have to either close the product or try to improve its performance, because it just doesn't make sense to keep this standalone product and have it performing that bad. Another thing that I wanted to show you is that I can grab the whole chart, rotate it, have a quick zoom into data. I can adjust it so that I can see some interesting insights. So what I see is a yellow bar that for this specific product, it is product 20 here because the data is anonymized, but for January 2018, I have a spike in the sales of this particular product, and it suddenly goes 3 scales up, and it has sold for $16,000. While the next months, February, March, April, and so on, they are in the first, this product is in the first scale, which is basically something like $300 in bookings. Definitely something that I need to closely see and understand what this spike is caused from, what event, be it a marketing promotion or something, or a huge conference or whatnot. And the last thing that I want to show you is that these 2D charts on the back and left walls of the 3D charts are there for purpose. As you can see, we have three colors-based mapping, which basically shows the types of deals, and the bars, the 2D bars, show the grand total of the performance of this product for the whole period that we are observing. So I can quickly see that for September 17 till August 18, my top performing product has generated my business about $2.5 million. And most of the sales are renewals only. So this means that our customers are loyal to us and happy with us. But on the other hand, this means that new sales or reach to new clients is something that I definitely need to consider to improve. So I'm pretty much done with my demo. So Pana, if you can switch to the PowerPoint slide so that the screen doesn't flicker. Okay.
Thank you. The next thing, graph visualizations. There are a few key quality features of the graph visualizations that we have to consider. For example, nodes shouldn't overlap. Edges shouldn't cross each other, or at least we should minimize the edges that intersect each other. And when you have to present a network that originated from organic content, such as social networks, for example, the mesh that is constructed is pretty much impossible to visualize in 2D display, fulfilling all these requirements. So we decided to create 3D graphs and to explore the possibilities of the VR for 3D. Now, we have all gathered here to gain some new news about technology, to learn some cool stuff, and most importantly, to socialize. So I guess the organizers of the event will be very interested to see how do you spend your time here. Are you forming certain groups of interests? How do you communicate with people? Well, let's see what Twitter has to say.
Just let me know when you are ready, Pana, so that we can live stream to the huge screen here. Here is your mic.
Thank you. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So quick switch, escape presentation mode, and enter VR. The stage is yours.
Okay, first thing we will do is load some tweets about DevReach. It gets relevant recent tweets from the...
Try to stand still, please.
Okay, from the last week. And the people that actually tweeted stuff about DevReach will appear as nodes in the graphs. Whether they communicated tweets that mention each other will form the connections between the users. And our graph layouting algorithm will try to position them in a way that people that talked about each other will be packed closer together. Now, you can see we have emphasized using branding colors for nodes where they're available. And what you can do is just jump inside the graph. Now, here is part of the natural interactions that we talked about. You can actually use 6 degrees of freedom to walk around. And you can see when you get closer, additional contextual information begins to appear. Now, we have view vixens here. Rossi, Jen Looper, they're inviting women to the IT industries, so they're packed close to Angular girls. with sense. If you display this on 2D, on 2D media, the edges overlap a lot, but when you have stereoscopic display, you can actually communicate with the users the depth. So edges now just go one beyond the other, and the brain is pretty capable to grasp this.
That's so amazing. I love this Milky Way.
Yeah, I was just looking for myself because, of course, when you open Google Maps, the first thing you do is go to your house.
You're so awesome on this picture. Wow.
Yeah, I look incredible, and I'm not very far away from you. I think
So can you find me or?
over there.
Ah, here I am.
Okay, I think this is enough for today.
Okay, enough Twitter. So that we close the demo and go back to slides.
We hope the. We have these demos running outside on Oculus Go devices. They are really affordable. They lack the 6 degrees of freedom. You cannot naturally walk around the users. You cannot experience this effect of getting closer to people to see additional contextual information. But we're really excited for the Oculus Quest and what the future has to present us. I would like to invite every one of you, if you want to try these demos, to come by the Progress booth outside. We have also a raffle, so you can actually win one Oculus Go.
Yes, the only thing that you need to do is to drop by our booth and try one of the demos, so that we can give you this inception, and you can write your name and put it in a bow, and we'll do a raffle tomorrow, and you have the chance to win an Oculus Go device. And the last slide that will summarize what we wanted to tell you, and what is the one thing that we want you to take away from this session. Again, this is one of my favorite quotes. The future is already near, is here. It is just not very evenly distributed. Oculus Quest is going to democratize the consumer space. So probably you should think where you stand in terms of these new technologies. And once again, just to build on top of what Panata said, please keep in mind that everything that you saw on the 2D screen is actually projection, 2D projection of real 3D experiences. So you just can't see how the graph looks on a 2D display. You need to put the device on so that you can immerse with the visualization. Well, basically, this is all that we wanted to share with you today, and I hope that we have some time for Q&A.
So, any questions?
Any volunteers?
There's something special about the hardware that you're using beside the Oculus Rift or beside the VR glasses?
So the question was, is there something special that we use in terms of hardware? Yes, for Oculus Rift, you need a gaming laptop. So you need the minimum required display adapter is GeForce 1050, if I'm not mistaken. This laptop is with 1070. But that's why we showed you Oculus Quest. With Oculus Quest, Facebook are claiming that it is going to have the same quality and experience like Rift, but standalone and very affordable price. Other questions? Yes? Yes, so the question was, what's the technology behind the development stack, development workflow? Yeah, this is, you're correct. This is entirely based in Unity. So what we do at our company to develop this is Unity plus Visual Studio for source code editing. Yes, we are making components, and we started with data visualization because it perfectly aligns with the top strengths of AR and VR, and it is the more sophisticated part of how you interact with data.
Are those components, can those components use those for augmented reality or only virtual reality?
Yes, so the question was whether these components are VR only. No, they are based on Unity, and you can easily use them on any AR device that supports Unity HoloLens. We have already tried these charts on HoloLens, and we have, yes, we have verified that we built once and we can deploy to any AR or VR device. So the question was, can we deploy to mobile? Yes, we can. Again, it is not a complete 100% code reuse. There are some minor tweaks that we will need to do in order to support the platform that we deploy to. But basically, these changes are somewhere around 1 to 5% at most. Other questions? It seems everything is straightforward, clear, and you're going to build your first VR application straight after the session. Well, I think this is it. Thank you very much all for your time. It was my pleasure to be here with you today. And please, if you have any questions, find us at the booth, and we will be glad to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you.